Title: My sister ruined my wedding, now my family blames me. Posted by you/throwaway bride crisis. I never thought I'd be that person, the one who posts some long, messy rant on Reddit because my real life feels like a soap opera. But here we are. My wedding was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. Instead, it turned into a public disaster that I'll never be able to forget. And to make it worse, my family is treating me like I'm the one who ruined it. The culprit? My sister. My younger sister, Mia. Let me back up. I'm 28F, she's 25F. We've always had that complicated sister dynamic, love, rivalry, occasional blowouts. Growing up, she was the golden child. My parents would literally say things like, "Oh, Mia's just special. She got away with skipping school, breaking curfew, crashing my car once." And if I ever complained, my mom's favorite line was, "Be the bigger person, you're older." I tried to accept it, but deep down, I always knew Mia was unpredictable. She liked drama. She liked attention. And she hated when things weren't about her. Fast forward to me getting engaged to Daniel, my now husband, or husband-ish. We'll get to that. He's amazing. We dated for 3 years before he proposed. The wedding was planned for last month, 120 guests, a cozy rustic venue, fairy lights everywhere, the whole Pinterest dream. At first, Mia seemed happy for me. She cried when I asked her to be my maid of honor. She threw herself into planning, picking colors, helping with the bachelorette party, even making me playlists for getting ready. I thought, wow, maybe she's really growing up. But about 2 months before the wedding, weird things started happening. One night, Daniel came home looking off. I asked what was wrong, and he said, "I ran into Mia at the bar with some guy. She said she was on a date, but she introduced me as your fiancé and then joked about how you're high maintenance." I brushed it off as her being her usual sarcastic self. But then my best friend Jenna pulled me aside after my bridal shower and said, "I don't want to freak you out, but Mia was telling people that she thinks Daniel's not good enough for you." When I confronted Mia, she laughed it off. "You're paranoid. God, you're so sensitive." I told myself not to overthink. I wanted peace leading up to my wedding. Then came the dress incident. 2 weeks before the wedding, Mia accidentally spilled red wine on my actual wedding dress. I had invited a few girls over for wine and final fittings. Everyone was tipsy but not sloppy. Mia was holding a glass of Merlot and said, "Oh my God, you look so stunning in that dress, Dan is going to lose his mind," and then trip. The wine splashed across the skirt like a murder scene. I froze. She gasped. Everyone gasped. She started crying immediately, apologizing over and over, swearing it was an accident. I wanted to scream at her, but instead, I locked myself in the bathroom for 30 minutes. My mom later told me, "It's just a dress, honey, don't ruin your relationship with your sister over fabric." Thankfully, the bridal shop was able to work a miracle with a rush cleaning. But from that point on, my stomach was in knots. The wedding day itself started beautifully. I woke up at 6 a.m., barely slept from excitement. The weather was perfect. The venue smelled like fresh flowers and cinnamon candles. My makeup was on point. Then Mia walked into the bridal suite. Her hair was flawless. Her makeup was, well, bridal. Like, smoky eye, nude lip, lashes. But the real gut punch? Her dress. She was supposed to wear the blush pink gown we'd all agreed on for the bridal party. Instead, she strolled in wearing a long, white, sequined gown with a plunging neckline. The kind of dress that would get you kicked out of any bridal etiquette book. The room went silent. My other bridesmaids looked at me like, "Do you want us to kill her?" "Mia," I said, keeping my voice calm, "you're in white." She smirked. "It's champagne. Totally different." I wanted to throw her out, but my mom, of course, said, "Don't make a scene. It's just a color." Fine. I swallowed my pride, because I wasn't going to let her ruin my day. Except, she wasn't done. During the ceremony, she stood right next to me, even leaning toward Daniel during vows like she was part of the couple. My photographer later said it was the most awkward set of bridal party photos he'd ever taken. And then came the reception. Here's where it turned into a full-blown nightmare. Daniel and I were about to do our first dance when the DJ suddenly announced, "We've got a surprise performance from our maid of honor, Mia." I froze. This wasn't planned. Before I could react, Mia strutted onto the dance floor holding a mic. The music started, some slow, emotional ballad, and she began to sing. At first I thought maybe it was just a toast in song form, but no. It was a 5-minute, dramatic, off-key performance with lyrics about finding the one who got away and timing being cruel. Halfway through, I realized she was looking directly at Daniel. I felt my knees go weak. People were whispering. My aunt actually mouthed, "Is this about him?" Daniel looked uncomfortable, but he didn't stop her. I stood there, smiling like a hostage, until the song ended and the room erupted into awkward applause. I was about to pull her aside and demand an explanation when she grabbed the mic again. "By the way," she said, "I just want to wish my sister the best of luck. She's going to need it." The crowd gasped. My chest felt like it was caving in. She dropped the mic, literally, and walked off. I chased her to the hallway and said, "What the hell is your problem?" She smiled, and said, "You'll find out soon enough." That was the last time I saw her that night. But 20 minutes later, my cousin came running up to me, pale as a ghost, saying, "You need to check your phone. Now." And that's when everything truly started to unravel. Title: My Sister Ruined My Wedding, Now My Family Blames Me, Part 2. Posted by you/Throwaway Bride Crisis. So, there I was, standing in the hallway of my own reception, still in my wedding dress, trying to process my sister's bizarre performance. My cousin shoves my phone into my hand and says, "You have to see this." It was a text from an unknown number, sent to me, Daniel, my mom, and apparently half our extended family. Attached were screenshots. I felt the blood drain from my face. They were messages between Daniel and Mia. At first, I thought they might be fake. But they looked exactly like Daniel's texting style, the punctuation, the way he used ellipses, even his habit of typing "you" instead of "you" when he was rushing. The messages were flirtatious. Not explicit, but heavily suggestive. From Daniel, "You looked amazing last night." Dangerous, even, winky face. From Mia, "Careful, you're gonna get me in trouble." From Daniel, "Maybe trouble's what we need." My hands were shaking. I scrolled further and saw a date stamp from 2 weeks before the wedding. 2 weeks. In the middle of final dress fittings, vendor calls, my sister and my fiancé were apparently having whatever this was behind my back. I wanted to scream. But my brain short-circuited into some weird state of calm. I walked back into the reception hall like I was in a dream, found Daniel talking to his groomsmen, and said, "We need to talk. Now." We stepped into the coat room, and I just held up my phone. "Explain." His face went from confused, to pale, to defensive in about 3 seconds. "Babe, it's not what it looks like." "Really?" I said. "Because it looks like you and my maid of honor have been texting each other like you're in some Netflix affair drama." He swore it was harmless, just banter. That Mia was teasing him and he didn't want to make things awkward so he played along. I stared at him. "So your excuse is that you didn't want to make my sister feel awkward, by flirting back with her?" Before he could answer, the door opened and Mia walked in like she'd been waiting for her cue. "Wow," she said, smiling like a cat, "guess the cat's out of the bag." I nearly threw my bouquet at her. "What is wrong with you?" She tilted her head. "Wrong with me? I'm not the one marrying a guy who was texting other women 2 weeks before my wedding." "Other women?" I repeated. She smirked. "Oh, sorry, I mean just me. Not sure if that's better or worse." Daniel groaned. Mia, stop. You're twisting this. Oh please, she said, don't act like you didn't mean every word. I wanted to strangle them both. The three of us stood there in this horrible triangle of tension until my mom barged in. She saw our faces, glanced at my phone, and immediately went into damage control mode. Okay, she said, we are not doing this here. This is a wedding. Your wedding. You can deal with this tomorrow. No, I said, my voice cracking, we're going to deal with it now. My mom grabbed my arm like I was a child throwing a tantrum in public. Don't embarrass yourself. And that was the moment it hit me, I wasn't going to get back up from my family. Not now, not ever. I turned to Mia. You've been jealous of me your whole life. You couldn't stand that for one day, it wasn't about you. So you did everything you could to destroy it. Congratulations, you succeeded. Mia rolled her eyes. Oh, give me a break. You're acting like you're some innocent victim. You've always been self-righteous and controlling. Daniel was bored. That's not my fault. I looked at Daniel. Is that true? Were you bored? He opened his mouth, then closed it. Which was all the answer I needed. I walked straight out of that room and onto the dance floor. The DJ was mid-song, people were laughing, clinking glasses. I grabbed the mic. Hi everyone, I said, my voice trembling but loud, I just wanted to make an announcement. Turns out my husband and my maid of honor have been texting behind my back for weeks. So, if you'll excuse me, I'll be leaving my own wedding now. You could hear the collective gasp. I dropped the mic and walked out. My heels clicked against the floor like gunshots. Behind me, I could hear people shouting, my mom calling my name, Daniel saying, wait. But I didn't stop. I got into my maid of honor's car, the other one, Jenna, not Mia, and told her to drive. We ended up at her apartment, where I collapsed on the couch in full wedding attire and sobbed until my throat burned. The next morning, my phone was flooded with messages. Half of them were from family members telling me I had overreacted and humiliated Daniel and Mia. The other half were from friends telling me they'd seen this coming and I should cut them both out. Then came the real kicker. My mom called and said, you need to apologize to Mia. I actually laughed. For what? For her destroying my wedding? For causing a scene, she said. People will talk. Family reputation matters. I couldn't believe it. Do you even care that she was flirting with my fiancé? She didn't do anything physical, my mom said. It's not like they slept together. That was when I realized, in my mom's eyes, as long as Mia wasn't caught literally in bed with him, she was innocent. Over the next few days, things got messier. Daniel's family called me, saying they'd heard I blew up over a joke. Mia posted vague Instagram stories about jealous people and truth always winning. My own dad, who usually stays neutral, told me I needed to be the bigger person. I haven't spoken to Daniel since that night, except for one text where he said, we should talk when you calm down. Calm down. I filed for an annulment. But here's the part that's making me lose sleep. I found out through a mutual friend that the unknown number that sent those screenshots? It was Mia herself. She outed her own messages, not to confess, but to blow everything up on purpose. Which means she didn't just ruin my wedding by accident, she orchestrated the entire implosion. And I have no idea why. Title: My sister ruined my wedding, now my family blames me, Part 3. Posted by you/throwaway bride crisis. It's been 23 days since what I now call the implosion. Not the wedding. Not our big day. Just the implosion. 3 weeks, 2 days, and a handful of hours since I walked out of that rustic barn in my $2,800 dress and never looked back. And yet somehow, I feel like I'm still standing on that same dance floor, heart pounding, surrounded by whispers. The annulment is in process. Daniel hasn't fought it, small blessings, but his texts keep coming, like clockwork. Every couple of days. We should talk when you've cooled down. This isn't how I wanted things to end. You're making a mistake. Like he's some wise sage and I'm the emotional wreck who can't see reason. I don't reply. Not because I don't have things to say, but because I refuse to give him the satisfaction of thinking I still owe him an audience. My family, of course, has taken this as proof that I'm immature. Apparently, silence equals guilt in their universe. The group chat that used to be constant planning updates and Pinterest boards has gone dead silent, except for the occasional pointed meme from my mom about sisters being forever. Meanwhile, Mia is living her best life. I'm not even exaggerating. She has turned this entire situation into her own personal PR campaign. Her Instagram is a masterclass in curated chaos. Photo number 1, Mia in oversized sunglasses at a sidewalk cafe, captioned, "Some people choke on the truth. I sip it." Photo number 2, a mirror selfie in a tiny silk robe, holding a mug that says Boss Babe. Caption, "Unbothered. Blessed. Busy." Photo number 3, a blurred shot of clinking wine glasses with someone whose hand looks suspiciously like Daniel's. No tags, of course. Just, "Cheers to new chapters." The thing is, I wouldn't even be checking her socials if people weren't sending me screenshots like it's their patriotic duty. The missing puzzle piece. 2 days ago, Jenna, my real maid of honor, not the walking disaster in sequins, finally broke. She showed up at my apartment with a bottle of Malbec and that look she gets when she's been sitting on a secret too long. "I wasn't going to say anything," she started, "because I didn't want to make you feel worse. But you need to know why she did this." I told her to spill. 3 months before the wedding, there was a birthday party for a mutual friend, the kind where half the guests are people you barely know and the other half are people you wish you didn't. I was out of town visiting my old college roommate. Daniel went alone because he didn't want to bail on the friend. Jenna was there. She swears she saw Mia corner Daniel near the kitchen and keep him there for over an hour. Later, she overheard Mia in the bathroom with 2 of her friends saying, "Honestly, I could totally get him if I wanted. It's not even about him, it's about proving I can take what's hers." At first, Jenna thought it was just drunk, empty boasting. But over the weeks, she started noticing things. Mia always finding reasons to text Daniel directly about wedding details, instead of going through me. Little touches on his arm at gatherings. Making inside jokes with him that I wasn't part of. And then came the kicker. One night at a bar, Jenna swears she saw Mia physically grab Daniel's phone and type something herself. She doesn't know exactly what, but she's convinced some of those flirty texts I saw in the screenshots weren't even from him. Which means those messages that blew everything up. They might not have been 100% real. The sickest part. I wish I could say that revelation made me feel better. That maybe Daniel wasn't as bad as I thought. It didn't. Because the reality is, whether she faked half of it or not, he didn't shut her down. He didn't tell me. He didn't block her number or keep his distance. And the part of me that still wants to see the best in people keeps colliding with the part of me that knows my sister engineered the destruction of my wedding with the precision of a surgeon. This wasn't some drunken mistake or impulsive outburst. This was a slow burn plan to humiliate me. And she pulled it off perfectly. The photo. Yesterday afternoon, my mom sent me a text. No message. No context. Just a photo. It was Mia. At dinner. With Daniel. Her hair was in loose waves, the way she used to wear it for high school dances. She was leaning across the table, smiling, eyes locked on him. In the corner of the frame, Daniel's hand was reaching for his drink. I stared at it for a full minute before I felt my hand start to shake. I typed, "Why are you sending me this?" Then I deleted it. Because I don't actually know if she sent it to hurt me, or because she thinks it's proof they were innocent all along. Either way, it doesn't matter. The shift. Up until that moment, I've been in survival mode. Cry, sleep, ignore the calls, block the drama. But seeing that photo flipped a switch in my brain. Mia's goal was never just to blow up my marriage. She wanted me isolated. No husband, no family support, no sympathy. Just me, alone, while she basks in the spotlight. And for 3 weeks, I let her have it. But here's the thing about me, I'm not the bigger person. I've just been biding my time. I know Mia's weaknesses. I know the skeletons she spent years burying. And I know exactly how to make her trip over every single one of them. Step 1, Information. Last night, I dug out an old hard drive from college. It has everything: photos, videos, chat logs from back when Mia was still just the fun party girl who thought Snapchat was private. I started a folder. Labeled it Project Champagne. A little nod to her, it's champagne, not white stunt. So far, I've found a video of her at 19, trashed, screaming at her ex-boyfriend in the middle of a public street. Screenshots from when she tried to blackmail a girl in high school over a stolen cheerleading spot. A DM thread with someone else's boyfriend that ended with the girl threatening to beat her into next week. None of it is criminal. But all of it? Pure reputation poison. Especially for someone who spent the last year trying to rebrand herself as an aspiring lifestyle influencer. Step 2, Leverage. There's a guy Mia dated briefly before Daniel ever came into the picture, a finance bro named Alex. The relationship ended when she found out he'd been hooking up with her friend. But here's the twist, Alex still follows me on Instagram. I sent him a casual DM, "Hey, remember that time Mia tried to crash your work party and ended up?" He replied in under a minute. LOL. I still have the security footage. Guess what's going in the folder? Step 3, Timing. If there's one thing Mia loves more than attention, it's control. She likes to dictate the narrative, drop hints on social media, and make people come to her for the real story. So when this blows up, and it will blow up, it's not going to be one big dramatic post from me. It's going to be a drip feed. Little leaks. A photo here. A screenshot there. Enough to make people start asking her questions she can't answer without admitting to the rest. I don't know how long this will take. Weeks, maybe months. But I've decided something. Mia took my wedding day from me. She made me the villain in my own story. So I'm going to make sure the day she loses control of her story is one she never forgets. And when that day comes, I won't be in the background, swallowing my pride. I'll be front row, glass of champagne in hand, watching the show.